Depo on the beat.
Hello. Hey guys, can you hear me? Hello? Hey. Hello? Can you hear me, guys? I've been talking for the last 5 minutes. Damn. Can you hear me, guys? I need some confirmation. Oh my days. Something has to happen in it. Now I've got to speak all those things that I spoke previously. Anyways, hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine and I hope you're all safe. I've said this all before, by the way, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, I welcome you all. Amrit, Nayak, Raja, Jug, Shrey, Theo, Edward, Soman. Apologies for you hear me because I don't know what's going on with my stream. Give me a second, guys. Let me see if I can fix it. Give me a second. Why is the chat not updating? Guys, give me a second. I'm trying to fix something here. I don't know what's wrong, and give me a second. I'll fix it as soon as possible. Before the stream, everything seems awesome, but I don't know what happens when you start the stream. Something always comes up, but do not worry, my friends. I'm just gonna fix it. Alright, guys. I think it's fixed now, and yeah. So, friends, apologies for the slow start, and yeah. So, I welcome you all, my friends. Naik, Nick, Theodore, Ali, Shrey, Jugs, Fadzali, Edward, Raja. Today was gonna be a very important day, and not the best of starts, but I guess I can make up for that. Hey, Michael, welcome. So friends, before I start to answer your questions, before we discuss your dilemmas, I would like to tell you that I've already made my transfers and I've got the complete art to just answer your questions, right? So let me tell you what transfers I've made in my team and the logic behind them. So with a very heavy heart, my friends, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has made way, and I've taken a big price hit because, if I have to buy him back, I have to get him back for 8 million, and I sold him for just 7.5. But such is the game, guys. You sometimes have to make these difficult decisions. So Patrick Bamford comes in for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and my captain Kevin De Bruyne comes in for Heung-min Son. So those are my two transfers for the game week, and I think the logic, you already understand my logic this season. I am not afraid to take a hit, especially to bring in a player who I'm going to captain this game week. So my captain for this game week is obviously Kevin De Bruyne, and I can now go ahead and show you the pick team. So here I'm at. This is basically my team for the game week, guys, and let me change my captain so there are no doubts. And here we are. My team is fixed. Unfortunately, I'll have only 10 playing players this game week, but so be it, guys. I've put Grealish in my team just for the off chance that the match gets postponed in the midweek of next week. Otherwise, Bissouma comes in, so no problems there. Kevin De Bruyne and Bamford are my two transfers, guys. The vendor says I have Captaincy dilemma, I have KDB, Salah and Bruno. Whom to captain? In my opinion, I think they're all good captaincy options. The vendor, if I was you, I'd possibly go with KDB because he has the best fixture out of the lot, but they're all great options. Nick says Calvert has Burnley and Bamford has Chelsea. Yes, I know what you mean, my friend, but that transfer was not the one I was aiming for, right? I was aiming to bring in Kevin De Bruyne, and I didn't have any other way to bring him in. There was another way for me to bring in, Kevin De Bruyne. That was to transfer out Robertson and get in Ruben Diaz, and then I could get Kevin De Bruyne for Son as well. But the problem is, I'm just not sure whether Ruben Diaz is gonna start because he started midweek. So there's lots of doubts in my mind about the City defenders. The only one which I know is gonna definitely play is Kyle Walker. So I just didn't want to take any more risks, neither any more headaches. So I decided that I'm gonna not do the transfer of Robertson to Ruben Dias. So I decided it was time for Dominic Calvert-Lewin to go. And the logic behind that was, I think Everton have some difficult fixtures coming up, right? And I don't think they are playing the best football right now, and that is the reason I thought that maybe later in the season Dominic Calvert-Lewin can come back into my team when they have their players back, like Luca Dean, and they are playing better football. At this moment in time, I feel that Leeds are attacking wise better than Everton. It's kind of hard to accept, and Bamford has a difficult fixture, granted. But come on, guys, I mean, it was not about Bamford this game week, right? It was about Kevin De Bruyne, and I was going to captain De Bruyne. So if Calvert-Lewin goes on and scores 1 goal or 2 goals, so be it, guys. I was not going to captain Kevin De Bruyne, right? So yeah, question time, guys. If you have any questions about my team, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll go on and answer your questions. Theodore says, but Martinez, Grealish and Taylor is not playing due to Newcastle versus Villa postponed. Yes, I know that, my friend. This game week I'm going without a keeper, so it's all good. Actually, what I can do is also something. I can just put in Peacock Farrell in place of Martinez, but that won't make a difference because I already know that Nick Pope is fit and he's going to start this game week. So it's just just a peace of mind kind of bringing in a player. Otherwise, there's nothing in that. I'm going into this game week with 10 players, so I already know that. Alright, moving on. Suleiman says Vardy to Adams to fund Rodriguez to KDB. To be honest with you, Suleiman, I could have done that as well, but I thought Vardy had a good fixture against Sheffield United. Sheffield United are looking good for relegation right now. They are actually not playing well at all, and they lost to West Bromwich Albion, so I didn't want to transfer out Vardy. And in my opinion, if you have other ways to bring in KDB, I would try to keep Vardy this week. If you have Vardy, I would try to keep him. Shopnan says, are you going to bring in Salah next round? That is a big question, my friend. I want to bring in Salah next week, definitely. Against Fulham, Salah is a peach captaincy option, right? If I want to keep Vardy for 1 more week, then possibly I can do Ziyech to Jota as well. So that's gonna let's see what happens next week. But if I can bring in Salah, I would be tempted to do it. Ali says, hello Wiz, big problems in my team. Got 4 Newcastle and Villa assets. Mope and Sterling have no idea what to do. To be honest with you, with Watkins and Grealish, if you have them, they're only going to miss 1 week, and if you have some bench players, I'd be tempted to go with your bench players because they have great fixtures, right? With the Newcastle players, I'm just not sure whether they're going to be back next week or how long they're going to stay in isolation. So, in my opinion, with Newcastle players, I'd be more tempted to sell them. With Aston Villa players, I'd be more tempted to keep them. Fadzali says, hey Wiz, do you think Zaha will start? Should I keep him for another week? To be honest with you, I think Zaha has a great fixture, and Hodgson does say that he's back and he's fit, and I think he should start, my friend. So if I was you, I would keep Zaha in my team. Jug says, let's make ADB a triple captain. I never use my triple captaincy in a single game week, Jug. I always wait for the double game week, and mostly I use it in the second half of the season. So this game week I have him as a captain, and I'm pretty happy, my friend. Triple captain right now, not for me, my friend. Jackson says, who are you transferring? Buckshot says, sorry, I missed your changes this week. So I'd just like to repeat my transfers. I made 2 transfers. For anybody who missed it, I made 2 transfers in which I transferred out Dominic Calvert-Lewin to Bamford and Son to Kevin De Bruyne. So those are my 2 transfers. Obviously, I took 1 hit as well. Amrit says, most nail defender besides Chilwell. Amrit, to be honest with you, I think there are a lot of nail defenders. If you're asking for a good option, I'd say Kyle Walker would be my second favorite defender to pick. If I was on a wild card, I'd go with Chilwell, Kyle Walker, maybe Reece James. Double up on the Chelsea defense and get 1 City defender. They have the best fixtures out of the lot, and I feel that it's a pretty good way to kind of attack the get some defenders who can get you points in the next coming game weeks from attack as well as defense. So in my opinion, Kyle Walker, Chilwell and Reece James. If you can afford, then one Liverpool defender in Robertson won't be bad either, my friend. Nike says Sterling played 90 minutes versus Porto. Will he start on the bench? To be honest with you, the comments by Pep Guardiola have been very strange, right? He says that Sterling has had a long season, or this is a long season, and Sterling has already played a lot, and this and that. So I'm just not sure what's going on with Sterling and why he's not starting. I have no idea at all. But with Pep, I would only kind of place my money on 2 players starting, or maybe 3, right? Kyle Walker, Kevin De Bruyne, and Ederson. Other than that, it's always a risk picking City players. That's not for me. Every week, additional stress of picking these kinds of players is just not for me. So yeah. Fi says Martinez to Peacock Farrell to get funds from McGinn to Grealish. Should I should I do the Martinez transfer this week or the next? Guys, I think you should wait, my friend. There might be other things that crop up during the week, and you might need your transfer. I think this is a very sideways transfer, at least for this week when Aston Villa are not playing. So I think you should hold your transfer. Nick says target out for Lamptey or save a transfer to next week. Nick, if you have 11 players, I think that transfer can be saved, and you can make it next week if you want, right? So because there might be some problems related to COVID, related to Newcastle, who knows what's going to happen, right? Who does Newcastle play next week? That is a very important thing that we need to know, because that way we can find out. They play West Bromwich, so nobody has West Brom players anyway, so that's not a problem. But anyways, I would save a transfer, Nick. That's my opinion on that. Shopnan says, who should I captain, Vardy, Bruno, or Mahrez? That's a very good option to have, my friend. If I was you, Shopnan, I would say number 1 would be Bruno, number 2 would be Vardy, number 3 would be Mahrez for me. Fadzali says, I did not post any links. Yeah, I know, my friend. It just, when you put a dot between 2 alphabets, it thinks you're posting a link. Apologies for that. You can't predict Pep, says Nick. I agree with that. Buckshot says, I have double Chelsea defense, but Bamford playing, would you take one Chelsea defender and sub for Lamptey? I think, George, that is a good idea, right? If you have Bamford playing and you have double Chelsea defense playing, I think it's better to kind of divide the risk a little bit and play Lamptey over one of them. Obviously, Reece James. Relo says, triple captain KDB. Relo, in my opinion, as I always say, a triple captain should be used in a double game week. This is a single game week, so I'm not tempted to use it. But if you feel that, if you have an instinct or a gut to captain KDB, there is no right or wrong time to play these chips, right? This is all based on instinct. I can only say that KDB is a very good captaincy option, and that is the truth. Other than that, I don't know. That is based on your gut, my friend. Any Castan news, says Faiz. Faiz, Castan is not gonna play this game week. He's still injured. Ali says keep Sterling. Ali, definitely. If you have Sterling, I would keep him, my friend. If you don't have him, obviously I won't suggest buying him. But if you kept him for so long, why not keep him against Fulham and hope he plays? If he does, he'll get you good points. Amrit says, Abraham for Watkins, will it be a wise move? Amrit, what I think about that transfer of Abraham is that Giroud scored 4 goals in the Champions League in midweek, right, against Sevilla. So, Lampard might be kind of tempted to start Giroud in the Premier League because he's in such good form, right? And if Giroud starts, then Abraham is going to lose his place, in my opinion. So I think we should wait to see what happens with the Chelsea Abraham thing, right? If Giroud doesn't start and Abraham still keeps his place in the Premier League, then you can go for him. But right now, I think it might be a little bit risky, my friend. Trey says, I have Salah and Jota. Should I transfer Salah for KDB? Trey, that's your very difficult decision to make, my friend, but it should be one which you should make yourself, because in my opinion, Salah and KDB are both very, very desirable premium assets, and ideally we would own both of them, but if I had that decision to make, possibly I would keep Salah, because next week again you want to have Salah back, because Salah plays Fulham next week. So if you won't want Salah back in the next week, then you can think about it. But if you want to make 2 transfers, I think that's not very desirable, bro. Sai says I can only afford to get De Bruyne in if I transfer out Fernandes. Sai, that's very difficult to say because I think Bruno Fernandes can match KDB this season. So I just can't say that you should transfer out Bruno Fernandes. He's in the form of his life. Why would you transfer him out? Why would I recommend you to transfer him out, you know? So Siddharth says, hey bro, I think you missed my question. I'm sorry Siddharth, welcome my friend. You know, there's lots of questions, so I'm trying to answer as much as possible. But if I miss one or two, guys, I'll try to come back, my friends. Aditya says, whom to captain? Sterling, Salah, Werner or Mahrez? Oh, that's a pretty difficult one because there's not an obvious option in there. You know, if I was you, my friend, I'd possibly out of those, I'd say Salah, because Salah is at least nailed on to start. If Sterling was nailed on, I'd say Sterling, but Sterling is not nailed on, and neither is Mahrez. You know, I'm not sure what Pep does with Mahrez and how he rotates him. So in my opinion, you should always captain a player who you know is going to start. So it should be Salah or Werner. You know, for me, Salah. Karthik says, hi Wiz, Barnes to Jota. Barnes played 90 minutes in the Europa League. Karthik, I think you should have Jota in your team regardless. You know, if I think Jota is a better option than Barnes anyway. So I'd say yes to that transfer. Shopnan says, should I take -4 to bring in Jesus for Vardy and captain Jesus? Shopnan, I think Vardy can match Jesus in this game week. They're playing against Sheffield United, and you know, next week Jesus is gonna play against Manchester United, and Vardy plays against Brighton. So over the 2 game weeks, if you think Vardy can match Jesus, I don't see the need to make that transfer, my friend. So you make the decision. Ishtiaq says, I have no City assets. I have Son and Kane. Should I take a -8 to bring in at least one City player? That's you know, I think Kane has a peach fixture against Arsenal because I've never seen an Arsenal game in which Kane hasn't scored against them. Kane always seems to score against Arsenal. So in my opinion, that is, you know, Kane is a really good hold for this week. If you can move on Son for De Bruyne with a -4, then I think you can do it, my friend. But for a -8 and take Kane and Son out, I wouldn't suggest that, my friend. Thakif says, transfer, bro. I don't understand, my friend. If you mean what transfers I made, I transferred out DCL to Bamford and Son to KDB, my friend. Johan says, I have Lascelles, Grealish, Target and Martinez. Despite this, I want to keep the Villa options and transfer out Ziyech for Mahrez and take out Lascelles for Kufal for a -4. Johan, I don't see the point of your transfers, my friend. The reason being, Kufal has a very difficult match against Manchester United, right? And I don't see Kufal scoring too many points this game week. With Ziyech to Mahrez, if you want, you can do it. But, you know, I see these transfers as you know, as a short-term transfers, and I don't think they're going to benefit you very much. Mahrez is not a long-term option, my friend. Ziyech is, you know, I think Ziyech would be a long-term option, and he starts for Chelsea. Mahrez will be on and off, and you might want to get rid of him very soon. Raja says, Foden or Ferran Torres? Out of these two, I'd say, you know, I'd say none of these are nailed on, Raja. But if I had to pick one, I'd say Foden, my friend. Johan says my other defenders are a rotation risk. Yeah, I understand that, Johan, but that doesn't mean that, you know, because that doesn't mean you should get in a player like Mahrez, who's also a rotation risk. Pep doesn't give him long runs in the team. He's already missed 2 games out of the first 10. So, in my opinion, out of the first 9 rather, right? City didn't have a fixture in game week 1, so he's already missed 2 games out of the first 9. So he's not safe, in my opinion. Don't get players who are rotation risks, my friend. Mark Keane says, Peacock, any chance he plays? Mark, I don't think there's any chance he plays because Pope is back and Sean Dyche confirmed that Pope is fit. So I just put him in for the, you know, for the fun. I don't think he starts. Anas says, who to captain amongst Vardy, Bruno and Salah? Considering Vardy and Bruno both score against away teams. To be honest with you, Anas, you've got good captaincy options, and if I had those options, I'd choose between maybe Bruno Fernandes at number 1 because he plays really well away from home and he hasn't blanked in an away game ever since he joined United. He has a fantastic away record, so why not go with Bruno? You know, I think that's a good option. Salah, always a safe pick, my friend. He has, but he doesn't play well against Wolves because he has 1 goal in 4 games against Wolves. So I think Bruno is a better option. Very hard to say, but yeah. Amit says Watkins replacement. To be honest with you, my friend, I'd say Bamford. I would love to say Wilson, but since they are, having COVID problems, I can't say it. Che Adams could be one. Bamford could be another one, and these are the 2 best options. If you want, you can keep him as well. 1 game week, and he's gonna be back after 1 game week. Raja says DCL to Jesus is a good move. If you want to keep Jesus long term, I think it's a good move, my friend. And if you just think for the short term, possibly not. FPL Jug says who to play, Kufal or Dallas. In my opinion, I'd say play Dallas. At least he has some attacking threat, my friend. Kufal against United, I'm not sure, but if I was you, I'd possibly play Dallas. Rohan says, is Son to Mahrez a good transfer? Rohan, the thing with this transfer is Mahrez is not nailed on, right? Son is nailed on, 100% nailed on in that Spurs team unless he's injured. So I know you want to get in Mahrez for the Fulham game, but long term Mahrez is going to be rotated and you're going to have an additional headache every week. So if you want to take a risk, my friend, if you're that kind of a person who plays the game kind of on the edge, then yeah, you can do it for this game week. But if I was you, I'd keep Son. Cruz says start Bednarik or Lamptey. If I was you, my friend, I'd start Lamptey. Excuse me. Michael says you missed my question twice. I apologize, Michael. Can you tell me your question again? Next time I'll make sure I won't miss it, my friend. Let me have a drink of water, guys. I'll come back to your questions. All right, I'm back. Jay says Jota for Zaha. Not this game week, my friend. I think Zaha has a great fixture. I think you should keep him for this game week. Siddharth says Ziyech or Bamford. Ziyech, I'd say. Saleh says, will you keep KDB or let him go next week? Saleh, I'm gonna keep KDB for the... Let me show you. I'm gonna keep KDB because he has great fixtures, right? West Brom, Southampton, Newcastle. I'd definitely keep him till game week 22. No matter what happens, unless he gets injured or we feel that he's a rotation risk, once he comes in my team, he's going nowhere, my friend. Rabi says Sochik plus Vardy or Jota plus Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That's a very interesting one, Rabi. The thing is, if you're asking me for this week, I'd be tempted to say Jota plus DCL, but long term I feel Sochik plus Vardy has a better vibe to it, because Vardy you can transfer out and then you can bring out the money. With Jota and DCL, your money is going to be so split that it's going to be hard to kind of take the money out from there. So I'd say Sochik plus Vardy, my friend. Theo says, but Kane has 70% chance of playing due to a knock. I think Kane is going to play, my friend. There is no doubt in my mind that Kane is going to play. Saleh says Jota for Ziyech. I'd say if you want to do it, you do it next week, my friend, because right now, in my opinion, Jota has a difficult fixture and Ziyech has a game against Leeds, and Leeds do tend to concede in big games, so I'd say next week, my friend. Elish Bani says, hi, Jimenez and Rodriguez out, KDB, Bamford or Mahrez, Cavani or Jesus in, what do you think? Jimenez and Rodriguez out and KDB. Yeah, I'd say KDB. You can transfer out Jimenez and Rodriguez and bring in KDB and Bamford, I'd say. That seems like a good move. That is similar to what I did as well, my friend. Crew says Robertson will start. That's a very difficult question to answer for me, because Klopp said he's gonna be okay, but he didn't say anything categorical. But in my opinion, I put him in the team. If he doesn't start, then Taylor comes in. I'm pretty happy with that, my friend. Because next week he plays against Fulham, and I don't want to get rid of Robertson before that. Ali says, will Mope play? Ali, I'm not sure, because he had a slight issue with his hamstring, which is why he was taken off. So I'm not exactly sure. But if you want, I can have a look. I actually make a list every week, and I can have a look for you to tell you if I think he's going to start. All right. Siddharth says, bro, you missed me twice. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm missing lots of questions today. It seems Michael also had a question and I missed it. Siddharth, I'm sorry, my friend. I already answered your question though. You asked me Ziyech or Bamford. I said Ziyech, my friend. Jackson says you're skipping all my questions. My God, I don't know what's wrong with me. Skipping so many questions. Give me a second, guys. Let me read your questions and let me be quick. Razif says, have you already confirmed this transfer? Yeah, my friend, I've already confirmed my transfers. So I've made Dominic Calvert-Lewin to Bamford and Son to KDB. So those are confirmed. No changes to my team. Hang on, guys. Let me take a few questions. I think I've missed a couple of the questions, and since I want to answer all the questions possibly. Guys, can you please ask your questions again? I'll try not to miss this time. Please, can you just ask me again? Nazar says Bamford for Watkins this week or keep Watkins. Nazar, keep Watkins. Sterling will start, do you think? Lloyd, it's very hard to say if Sterling is going to start or not, my friend. And, it's difficult because he played 90 minutes against Porto and he didn't do much. So I think he might be a doubt to start, I just feel at the back of my mind that Sterling might not play the full 90. Thales says Robo was amazing last week. Really hard week for him and Robertson owners. Hope he starts and has a good game week. Even if Robertson doesn't start, I'm going to keep him because he has a great fixture against Fulham. So he stays in my team, my friend. Jirit says Salah for Jota for vice captain. Do you think Jota might go easy on his former team or look to prove a point against them? I feel that he would look to prove a point against them, if anything. I don't think he's going to go easy. But if I was to choose a vice captain, I'd say Salah. Subra says, I think Pope is fit to play. I think so as well. I think Pope is going to play. And Peacock Farrell is just, in here for the fun. He's not going to play. Jackson says, I got Kane, Watkins, Grealish, Martinez. What should I do? I have no City players. Jackson, I think out of these players, you can't get a City player with one transfer. So I'd say you keep Kane and you keep Grealish. Maybe if you want, you can sell Watkins for somebody like Che Adams. But if you have a strong bench, and even if you are having to go with 10 players this game week, it wouldn't be the end of the world, my friend. I'd say, if you can see I've got Grealish and Martinez as well. And if they don't play, I'll have to make do with Bissouma. So I'm accepting that, and I'm going into the game week with 10 players, and it's fine with me. Sometimes you have to take these things as they come. Number says KDB, Bruno, Salah, Jota, or DCL. Out of those, KDB number 1, Bruno number 2, Salah number 3. Jota and DCL, I just don't think that they're captaincy options this week, my friend. Basketballer Lewis says, hi, is Cavani a good player to bring in? I think not, Lewis. One, he doesn't have the best fixtures because West Ham away and next he has City. So in my opinion, if you want to bring in Cavani, wait until his ban thing has been resolved and the difficult fixtures have also been resolved. Coast says, triple Chelsea defense. And if you want to against Leeds, Leeds are a very, very good attacking team, my friend. It will be difficult to kind of keep a clean sheet against them. But if anybody can keep a clean sheet against them, it has to be Chelsea, because Chelsea has faced 4 shots on target in the last 5 game weeks, and that's an amazing record. So if you want, you can try it. More risk, more reward, my friend. Sarfraz says, Wiz, rationale behind getting in Bamford for DCL. Sarfraz, I know your point, and I know that DCL was a great option and he had done nothing in my team to prove otherwise. The problem is I wanted to get in Kevin De Bruyne this game week, and DCL's fixtures were turning a little, right? If you see Dominic Calvert-Lewin, his fixtures are not the easiest. Hang on, let me show you here. DCL's fixtures are not the easiest, and that was the reason that I thought that it's not a bad idea to kind of get rid of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Here, have a look. Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal, Sheffield, City. So I don't see DCL scoring too many points in these games. And although I took a points hit, like a value hit, 0.5 million, but it's sometimes you have to make these decisions. because I wanted to captain KDB. Ali says, would love to know if Mope plays. Ali, that's a very difficult one, my friend, and I don't have exactly any information about that. But from the press conference, he says that his hamstring is better than expected. He's working with the physios, and there's gonna be a late test to determine whether he plays or not. So, in my opinion, I'd say there is a chance that Mope might pass the late fitness test, but that's what we have on him. Soman says, is Jota a rotation risk, or he has nailed his place? Soman, in my opinion, I'd think he has nailed his place because he's scoring every week and he's playing really well. And on top of that, Liverpool have so many injuries, and I feel that he's nailed on. I really feel that he's nailed on now. And even if he doesn't start the game and he comes on for 30 minutes and scores a goal, I feel that he's still value for money, my friend. Kaushik says, do you think I should get Kane for Bamford? Kaushik, if you want to get Kane, I think you should get Kane from game week 14 because, if you don't have Kane right now, then Kane has difficult fixtures and, although he might score a goal against Arsenal, but I think you can get a lot better for the money. Desmond says, what are your transfers? My transfers are DCL to Bamford and Son to KDB. Excuse me, guys. Alright. Raja says, I want to do Tellus to a City defender. What's your opinion and who? I'd say the best City defender and the most nailed on would be Kyle Walker, my friend. So, yeah. Audio says, free hit team for this game week. Oh, that's a very interesting one. So really quickly, if I had to make a free hit team for this game week, it would it would be, obviously I'd focus on the midfield, and no. If I had to make a free hit team, it would go something like this. For this game week, I'd say Jota. Who else put in? So something like this. No, not Hesses. I'd say Mendy. These are. I'd bring in 3 City players for this game week, definitely. Possibly, Liverpool players as well. Robertson is not nailed on, so I wouldn't bring him in. For the goalkeeper is gonna be a little difficult. Who do I think is going to keep a clean sheet? I think it's going to be hard to make a free hit team really quickly, but I'd say I'd get in 3 City players, a couple of Liverpool players in there, 2 United players against West Ham United, and maybe Tariq Lamptey, as a defender, 2 Chelsea players, maybe 3 Chelsea players, and, that would be the one. It would be very hard to make a team, my friend. Kaushik says, Zaha for James. I don't think so, Kaushik. I think Everton's fixtures are turning, and James Rodriguez is not the best of options for the upcoming weeks, my friend. I think if you have Zaha, you keep him for this game week. WS says, Robbo or PVA for this game week? I think you can go with PVA, only because if you want me ask for this game week, the reason being, Patrick Van Aanholt is at least nailed on to start, with Robertson having this a little doubt. And has a difficult fixture against Wolves. I'd say Patrick Van Aanholt for this game week is a great option, my friend. Very good option. Raghav says, hi Wiz, Kane and Grealish to Ziyech and Ziyech to KDB and Bamford. Kane and Ziyech to KDB and Bamford. I think that's a very difficult one to say because I would love to have Grealish in my team for the long term, and I would love to have Kane in my team as well for the long term. But if I have to make these transfers, I'd say don't look bad for this game week. For the long term, can't say. From game week 14, I think Kane is going to be a great option. My health says Zaha, Ward-Prowse or Jota. Jota, my friend. Ward-Prowse or Jota. Both are great options. Zaha only for this game week, but after this, difficult fixtures. Chopman says take a -4 Salah to KDB, brought in already Mahrez for Ziyech. I wouldn't take a -4 because next week you would love to have Salah back, Chopman. So in my opinion, if you have Salah, you keep him. If you brought in Mahrez, and you should hope that he covers KDB, my friend. Um, Dylan says, who is the best defender below 5.4 million right now? I'd say Reece James, Dylan. I think he's a great option below 5.4 million. Crew says, Wiz, why not Grealish to KDB? Easier to get in also. I don't have enough funds, my friend. As you can see, I already have 0 million in the bank. So with DCL to Bamford, I could only afford KDB yeah, for Son, right? If I could do it for Hakim Ziyech, I'd possibly keep Son and transfer out Ziyech. But possibly Ziyech goes out next week for Salah. So yeah. My team is locked, so no questions for me, says best of luck, says Udo. Good luck, my friend. It's great to hear that your team is fixed, and I hope you have a great game week. Suleiman says, Wadi to Che Adams to fund Rodriguez to KDB. Oh, that's a very difficult one. Suleiman, I think you should keep Vardy this game week. I think Vardy has a great fixture. You know, kind of a difficult one to call. It should be based on instinct more than my decision. But I feel that Vardy has a great fixture, and Rodriguez doesn't have a bad fixture either against Burnley. Burnley conceded 5 to City last week, so possibly if you want, you can keep them. Adrian says, I'm 0.1 short of De Bruyne. What to do? Adrian, I have no idea, my friend. I wish I could lend you some money, but I have none in the bank either. You just have to make do, my friend. Just have to make do. Nothing that can be done. Johan says keep Fernandes or Kane long term. I'd say Fernandes, my friend. Dylan says, are you keeping Martinez this week? Yes, Dylan, I'm keeping Martinez, and I'm going into the game week with just 10 players. So, yep. Jay says, Captain Salah, Bruno or Werner. Out of these, Jay, I'd captain Bruno Fernandes. Edward says, do you think Kane will play? Yeah, I think Kane is going to play. Derek says, Ziyech or Mahrez? I'd say, for the long term, Hakim Ziyech. Mahrez is too much of a rotation risk, in my opinion. Dylan says, James or Walker-Peters. James is a rotation risk, but Walker-Peters have a decent few fixtures. I don't think James is a rotation risk anymore, my friend. I think James is pretty much nailed on. He's been starting the difficult games, he's been starting in the Premier League, and he's not been playing in the Champions League. I'd say Chilwell and Reece James are both nailed on. Murley says, Jesus or Vardy? I mean, if you're asking me who to transfer in for this game week, I'd say Jesus, because he has a great fixture. Long term, I'd say Vardy. Kaushik says, don't want to have two Everton players, DCL and James. Who should I get in place of Hummus? For Hummus, if you don't have any money in the bank, there are not very good options to kind of say. If you don't have Diogo Jota, you can possibly go for Jota, my friend. Solomon says, both my keepers, Alisson and Martinez, are not playing. What to do? Transfer one or play without a keeper this week? I'd say if you have two keepers, my friend, transfer one of them out. You don't want to have a headache every week to decide between your keepers. So if you already have somebody like Alisson, you can possibly transfer out Martinez. And if you want some money, you can keep Martinez and transfer out Alisson. Don't have such an expensive keeper and then Martinez as well, my friend. That is too much money on your keepers. Edward says Mope replacement. Mope can be replaced by Watkins, Bamford. Obviously, Watkins not this week, but in general, I mean. This week, I'd say Bamford, Che Adams. Both are good replacements. Other than that, I would love to say Wilson and Watkins, but obviously they're not having a fixture this week, so yeah. Eamon says Wilson replacement. To be honest with you, my friend, Wilson, if you can, I would keep Wilson. Do you know their fixtures, guys? They are having just the most amazing fixtures. Let me show you. Just give me a second and I'll show you. And the reason why you should keep Callum Wilson if you have him. Guys, West Brom at home, Fulham at home in the next 3 game weeks is gonna be amazing. And if you have Wilson, I'd say keep him, guys. Don't transfer him out. Raja says, Wiz, when do you want to use your wildcard? Raja, if I don't have if I don't have a great game week in this game week, I'd be tempted. I was actually tempted to use it this game week as well. But, since I want to target the double game weeks and the blank game week coming in the game week 16, 17, 18 window, that's the reason I'm keeping my wildcard for as long as possible. But if I am not happy with my team at the end of the game week, I possibly can use it next game week as well. Give me a second, guys. Alright, let's first answer Mike's question. Since he told me I missed his question twice, I don't want to miss it 3 times. Michael says, Wiz, please advise Sterling captain, Vardy vice captain. To be honest with you, my friend, if I was you, I'd captain Vardy. At least he's nailed on to start, right? I'm just not sure with Sterling. If you want to take a risk, that's totally depends on you. Logically, I'd say captain Vardy, my friend. You know. Pake says, Wiz, who are you dropping to fund Salah? Literally 0 in the bank. Yeah, Cruz, I'm thinking about dropping Vardy, but you know, it all depends upon how Vardy plays this game week, how much Leicester score, and how Salah plays against Wolves. So all these things are going to decide my transfer. If I don't think Salah is essential next week, I might just move Ziyech to Jota. So yeah. FPL Bear says, should I do Bissouma to Jota, Grealish and Watkins to bench this week, but for game week 12 I will have 8 good attacking players, so I would have a benching headache. That's a difficult one, my friend, and you know, there are 2 things you can do. You can possibly, if you don't have too much value tied in Grealish, you can possibly move Grealish to Jota and keep Jota for 2 weeks and then sell again for Grealish. That way you won't have a headache and you know, you'll have a decent team as well, my friend. You know, it's hard one to kind of decide, but you know, that's what I'm thinking. Aditya says Newcastle just posted they'll play next week versus West Brom, so that essentially confirms that they're not going to be having a midweek postponement of the fixture versus Aston Villa, and that's not a good news for all of us who own, you know, Aston Villa players. But if they're going to be playing against West Brom, guys, if you have Wilson, keep him, guys. Vardy to Reed to get KDB, and Bruno in for Son and Rodriguez. To be honest with you, Solomon, I'm just not sold on any Fulham player at the moment, my friend. I, you know, in my opinion, if you want to get a player below 5 million or below 5.5 million, I'd simply go for Brewster, because I just don't think that, you know, Fulham players are worth it and you'll have some money stuck there. Noel says Mahrez a good captain. He is a good differential captain, my friend. A good captain, if you mean a reliable or you know, he wouldn't be my first pick this game week, but if you wanted to ask me if he's a good differential captain, definitely, my friend. Dylan says, thank you very much, Wiz, I appreciate your help. One more question, is it okay to have 2 Chelsea defenders against Leeds who are very attacking? It would be kind of, you know, very anticlimactic if you know, if you have 2 Chelsea defenders and they keep. In my opinion, I'd say Leeds can score against Chelsea. Leeds are a very good attacking team, and if you have somebody like Lamptey or somebody else, a good replacement for Reece James on your bench, then I'd be tempted to go with 1 Chelsea defender, my friend, because Leeds, I feel, can score against anyone. You know, if they can put 3 past Liverpool, they definitely can score 1 against Chelsea. So, I mean, they should have scored 5 against Everton last week. Someone says McCarthy, Justin, Walker, Peters, Chilwell, Kilman, Son, KDB, Salah, Bamford, Vardy, Calvert-Lewin. Any suggestions on my team? I think your team looks good for this week, my friend. Maybe Kilman has a difficult fixture, and other than that, I think your team looks pretty solid to me. Very good. And KDB captaincy is the right choice as well. So good luck to you, my friend. Good luck. Aliza Hassan says better option for Martinez. I mean, to be honest with you, in that price range, there are not many standout keepers. I'd love to say Fabianski, but he's out of that range. I'd say McCarthy is a good replacement. Maybe Meslier, the Leeds keeper, is also a good replacement for Martinez if you want one, and he's you know, he's even cheaper than Martinez. Danforth says, should I do Mitchell to Reece James and play him with Bissouma, then bench Barkley and Wilson? Mitchell to Reece James seems like a good move, my friend, and yeah, I think Danforth, those are decent moves, my friend. I think that Leeds are going to score against Chelsea, but having Reece James in your team for long term is a good idea. Adam says Mope to Adams or Semedo to Diaz. Which transfer should I make? If I was you, my friend, I would possibly go with the Mope to Adams. The reason being, Mope is injured, and Semedo is definitely, we know, is going to play, although he has a difficult game. With Mope, he's just very frustrating to own in FPL for me. So if I was you, I'd possibly get Che Adams. Danford says, I already answered that. Kenneth says, best captain pick please. I've been dropping points because of my bad captain picks. To be honest with you, this game week, captaining KDB seems like a very good option. Other than that, I'd say Bruno Fernandes seems like a very good option as well. So those would be my two standout picks. Jamie Vardy would be my close third. Bekalu says, please, replacement for Grealish and a keeper. My friend, if there is a possibility and you have good players on your bench, you should play them and you should bench Grealish. But if you want to replace him, I'd say Diogo Jota, my friend. Jake says, should I vice captain Mane, Zaha, Ziyech or Kane? If I was you, I'd possibly go with Kane as a vice captain. It wouldn't make a difference if you have KDB as your captain. Reed will be on the bench playing a 3-5-2 with Bamford and DCL, says Solomon. Solomon, the thing is, if you want to keep him on the bench, why do you want to spend the extra money on him? It's better to get Brewster. Noel says, Mahrez, Salah, Bruno, Vardy, DCL, who to captain? If I was you, my friend, I would, out of these, I'd captain Bruno or Vardy. Cruz says, bro, yesterday on Twitter you told me to get rid of Wilson cause he's a long-term doubt. But Cruz, we have an update from Newcastle and they say that their match against West Brom is gonna go through. So now we have some updated information and we can say that if Newcastle are going to play their game against West Bromwich Albion next week, Wilson is a keep, definitely. Noel says, should I do Salah to KDB for a -4? That depends on you, my friend. If you want to keep KDB for long term, you can do it. But next week, Salah plays against Fulham, so you would want Salah back for the next week as well. So, you have to decide. On the point again, Cruz, that's the reason, guys. I always tell you, make your transfers at the very, very last moment. Because, information keeps leaking through journalists and we keep getting some news and that helps to make our decisions more clear. So always wait with your transfers as long as possible, my friends. Danforth says Jota is a trap. Trust me. I don't think he's a trap, Danforth. I don't think. Michael says Pep has said Mahrez is going to play. Well, he hasn't categorically said that Mahrez is going to play, but yes, he did say some positive things about Mahrez. And, if he starts, Mahrez is definitely a great option. Kaushik says Hummus is 7.7 and a better option to replace. Kaushik, sometimes more expensive doesn't mean better, my friend. I'd say Diogo Jota is very easily going to match Hummus over the season. So I'd say good option. Shopnan says DCL to Wilson next round. Shopnan, amazing. That would be an amazing move to make. 100%. Eamon says Watkins for Hesses. Is it okay? I mean, if you want to, I'd say if you want to keep Hesses for long term, I think it's great, my friend. Raja says who to keep, Tellis or Cresswell. If I was you, I'd possibly keep both of them. I don't see any problems with either of them. If you brought in Tellis, my friend, I'd keep him because both are, both don't have a great fixture this week, but long term I'd say both are going to play at least. Kenneth says on keepers, McCarthy or Ryan. If I was you, I'd possibly go with the home team, Ryan. A Success says Wilson, Bamford, Adams or Watkins for long term. For long term, Wilson. If if you have enough playing players, I'd go with Wilson. Definitely Wilson. Pradeep says, I need your suggestion. I have 10 players to start with Brewster included. Should I replace Martinez to make 11 or just go with 10 players? Pradeep, to be honest with you, I'd say it's not the biggest priority to replace a keeper. Even if you go with 10 players, I don't think it's a big deal, my friend. You should save your transfer and next week you have 2 free transfers and then you can decide. In my opinion, that's just my opinion, I'd like to reiterate. Success says thinking to take Kane and Bissouma and get Mahrez and 1.7 million striker. Success, in my opinion, if you have a bench player and you want a striker this week, I'd say Wilson is your man because you bench Wilson and you play him next week against West Bromwich Albion. And, he has amazing fixtures coming up. Kevin says get rid of Cancelo, got 2 free transfers. Kevin, if you have 2 free transfers, I'd possibly get rid of Cancelo, yes. And I would get maybe Kyle Walker in place of Cancelo. Jackson says KDB in for Son. That's a fine transfer. That's what I did, Jackson. So yeah. Danford says, hey Viz, I want to upgrade Mitchell to Reece James. What do you think? Chelsea double up is worth it? Can you give me other options? Danforth, in my opinion, Chelsea double up is worth it, but maybe not this game week. That is the only catch that I have, because this game week they play against Leeds, and I feel that Leeds can score against anyone. So otherwise, long-term Reece James for Mitchell, I think good move. Pedro says, Bissouma or Kufal this game week? I'm tempted to say Bissouma, my friend. Because says, one question please, shall I replace Kane? Any possible replacement? I don't think you should replace Kane, my friend. To be honest with you, Kane always scores against Arsenal, and if you've kept Kane for this long, I think you should stick with Kane. Unless you have a problem in your team and you want some money, I don't think you should sell Kane this game week. Kane is going to play. Amit says, need to get some funds back for strikers, Viz. I've got Werner, Vardy and DCL. Who should I move out for whom? For this game week, I think you should keep all of them. They all have decent fixtures, my friend, and unless you need some money this game week, you should roll your transfer and make 2 transfers next week and possibly transfer out Dominic Calvert-Lewin. FPL Light says, success go for Bamford, Che Adams. Yeah, I mean, Bamford and Che Adams are great options, but long term I'd say Wilson looks to be the real deal with the great fixtures coming up. Great. Light says, don't take a hit for a keeper, and I 100% agree with him. Pradeep says, any news of Robertson starting this week? Let me tell you exactly what Klopp said about Robertson. And what is the news about Robertson? Is Robertson picked up a knock during the Champions League, and Jurgen Klopp says he's gonna be fine. So if Klopp says that, I'm gonna be happy with that. Danford says thanks. Dan says Vardy or Mahrez for captain. If you want to go for a safe pick, my friend, go with Vardy. If you want to go for a differential pick, for an explosive pick, you can go for Mahrez. Sterling to Mahrez following Pep's comments. Michael, really, to be honest with you, bro, if you want to transfer out Sterling because he's a rotation risk, do you really want to bring in Mahrez, who's also going to be a rotation risk? I don't think that's a very good transfer. For this week, it's good. Long term, not so much. Not so much. Electrician says, how long will Villa and Newcastle assets be sidelined for, and how many weeks? Only 1 week, my friend. Villa and Newcastle will play next week, so if you can afford to keep them for 1 week, I wouldn't sell them. Dylan says, I've already got Chilwell, who's the best replacement for Sias because he's still in my side. To be honest with you, I'm tempted to say go for somebody like Reece James. I think Chelsea double up can be a good idea because I don't see too many good defensive options. Other than that, if you have money, you can go for Kyle Walker. Amrit says, first super chat to you, Wiz. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for your message, my friend, and I will try my best. Sudeep says, why my questions is not answering? Sudeep, I'm so sorry, bro. It's so many questions. I can't. Okay, I have your question here. I don't have any bench players, says Sudeep, for Grealish, and I have 2 million. So should I take a hit for midfield? And if yes, which player within 6 million? I don't have any great options for 6 million, my friend. So, if you want to bring in a player below 6 million, guys, can you suggest, Sudeep, some good midfield player for under 6 million? Because I can't think of any. Hang on, Sudeep. Guys, last 10 minutes, lock your teams. Lock and load. Quickly. Don't waste your time. Do not miss the deadline. Pedro Neto seems to be a good option, but his fixtures are very difficult. That is the only catch. Armstrong seems to be a good option as well, my friend. So these are the 2 I would be looking at. Ademola Lookman seems to be a good option as well. Although he's a Fulham player and I don't want to recommend him. Lookman, Pedro Neto, and possibly Armstrong. These are your options, my friend. Let's move. Anton says Rashford and DCL for KDB and Welbeck, or Jesus and Jota. I'd say KDB is a good option, Anton, but Welbeck just doesn't ring a vibe, my friend. He's just too much on and off kind of player. So, I feel that KDB is good, but you should think about somebody else other than Welbeck. Kurt Zouma so underrated, says Suleiman. I think he's fine. He can score headers from corners, definitely. Soman says, playing defensive this week. My team is locked in. All the best, everyone. Good luck, Soman. This week, everybody, this week is going to be a very up and down week because of this Aston Villa and Newcastle. And second, there are not many outstanding captaincy options, so a lot of people are going to go with, City players. Raja says, guys, please hit the like button. Thank you so much, my friend. Kevin says, Brewster or Kufal to start. Kevin, in my opinion, you should go with Kufal because he's at least nailed on to start. With Brewster, he's in and out of the team, so that's the only thing that I should actually put my team on the screen so everybody can see. N says, I'm thinking either KDB or Salah this week. If KDB, then I transfer Son out and keep Grealish. If Salah, then I transfer out Grealish and also Son for Ward-Prowse. What do you think? I mean, both transfers look good to me, my friend. I think you should possibly go with your instinct, but both transfers look good to me. KDB, if you bring in, I think I'd make him captain as well. So you can possibly bring in KDB only, and maybe next week about Salah. You can think about Salah next week. Eamon says, Jesus captain. If you have him, you can make him captain. I think, against Fulham, he has a great fixture, bro. Mushad says, hey bro, is Kane playing or not? Musaid, I think Kane is going to play. I mean, Mourinho said Kane looks in good shape and he's training as well, so he's gonna play, but nothing certain, my friend. Hugo says, will Torres play for Manchester City? Very hard to say, my friend. I cannot second guess Pep. Danforth says, I did not post any link. Danforth, when you put a dot in between two alphabets, it's considered as a link. I'm going to try to fix it. Apologies, my friend. Alexander says, hey Wizard, should I keep Lamptey and Walker-Peters at the back or swap one of them out and bring in Mendy in the middle? 3-4-3. I think for this game week, Lamptey and Walker-Peters both have a great fixture. Unfortunately, they play against each other, so but I think Mendy is just not that nailed on at the moment, so that you can, if you bring him in and Pep benches him, and then you might want to get him back out. So in my opinion, you should keep Lamptey and Walker-Peters. Long term, I think they're good options, bro. Ahmed says, did you play a wild card? No, Ahmed, I did not play my wild card. I made 2 transfers. I transferred out Dominic Calvert-Lewin into Bamford, and I transferred out Son to KDB. Pratik says, I have both Kane and Son. Shall I get Vardy or Bruno? If you can get Bruno with one transfer, I would possibly get Bruno for Son, Pratik. Podence or Bissouma to bench? I would bench Bissouma, my friend. I'd play Podence. Danford says, should we start planning for a wildcard? Danford, yeah, Dan, we're gonna talk about a wildcard in the aftermath stream. Depending upon how the week goes, then we can start planning for the wildcard. Adrian says, went Grealish to Mahrez. Good luck, Adrian. A great differential transfer. I hope the best for you. Green Energy says, Justin or Lamptey? Justin. Football fan says, I need to bring in a striker. I have 8.7 million. Who would you recommend? Oh, 8.7 million. Who is 8.7 million striker? I need to quickly have a look. At the back of my mind is there's not such a striker. I'd say you don't need to spend that much money, my friend. Either you can go with somebody like, if you don't have Calvert-Lewin, you can go for him. But in this range, I'd say the cheap strikers are, the best cheap strikers are Bamford. Wilson long term can be a good option as well. Che Adams is a decent option, so you can go with them. Don't over invest, because for that money you won't get a good striker, because there is none. Thakif says, why my bank don't enough to transfer like you? Thakif, everybody has a different team value, my friend, based on the players they have, and as soon as they keep on rising and falling, sometimes you have a good team value, sometimes you don't, my friend. So yeah. The electrician says, thanks for answering my question. Have a great evening from Thailand. I have subscribed to your channel. Thank you so much, electrician. I look forward to seeing you on our streams, my friend. Danford, Bakshat says, 5 minutes to deadline. Lock your teams. My friends, just 5 minutes left. Please lock your teams. Hang on, let me refresh my team once more to show you my final team for the game week, my friends. This hasn't... yeah, there you go. So this is my team. Bissouma number 1 on my bench. Taylor 2nd. Ayling 3rd. No keepers for the game week, guys. Captain KDB. Vice captain Bruno Fernandes. Thakif says, I follow your team, bro. Thakif, I know what you mean, but sometimes the timing of your transfers also dictates your team value. Sometimes I make a transfer, maybe one day earlier than you, and that is the reason a player might rise after that, and that's the reason you might not have the same team, bro. Sometimes you have to, improvise, bro. Improvise. It's Mr. May says, Captain DCL or Salah? Salah. Suleiman says, Mo Salah record versus Wolves and how will he perform? Mo Salah's record against Wolves is he scored 1 goal and 0 assists in 4 games. Not the best, but, I think Mo Salah is always at home is a great captaincy option regardless. If you don't have KDB, if you don't have Bruno, you can go with Salah. More questions. Matthew says, having to go with a back 5 this week due to the Villa game, not too stressed. Matthew, it's fine. At least if you have 11 playing players, you are much better off than a lot of people this game week. So it's all good, my friend. Thakif says, I see. Thank you, bro. You're welcome, Thakif. I see no more questions. Phew. Nazar says, thanks for the tips too. You're welcome, Nazar. I try my best, bro. Okay, so let's take a long deep breath and time to lock your teams. And like the stream as well, guys. Time to lock your teams and like the stream. If you felt that I answered your questions, if you enjoyed your time on the stream. Thakif says, why don't Grealish at sub? It doesn't make a difference, Thakif. He's gonna come in my team anyway. So, just for fun. I put him in the team. Lightrace says, great job, Wiz. Thank you, Light. I appreciate it, bro. Success says, Mahrez, Vardy, DCL, captain and vice captain. Vardy, if you want to go with the differential, go with Mahrez captain. If I was you, I would go with Vardy captain, Mahrez vice captain. Why did you transfer out DCL, says N? Because I wanted De Bruyne in my team, my friend, and I didn't have any other way to get him. And DCL has tough fixtures coming up, and I felt that it was a good time to move him on. Dakla says, could you answer my last message real quick? Dakla, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Todd, welcome to the stream, bro. Should I play Kufal or Souček? Please consult the crystal ball. In my opinion, I'd say Souček, my friend. I think go with Souček because Manchester United, do concede to set pieces sometimes, and Souček is a great option because I feel that United are going to score against West Ham United, so that means Kufal is going to get 2 points anyway, so that is what Souček is going to get as well, so he still has a goal threat. So if I was you, I'd play Souček. Dakla says Souček or Brewster, who to start? If I was you, Dakla, I would go with Souček. Danford says put Taylor ahead of Bissouma, thank me later. That's an interesting one, my friend, but I don't know. I don't know what to do with this because because both of them are nailed on, and let's see what happens, bro. Don't worry about it. Let's just let it be and let's see what happens. Light Ray says, are you bringing in Salah next week? Light, possibly, bro. Atul says, hey Wiz, will Jota start? Atul, I think so. He's going to start. Todd says, thanks Wiz, you're welcome, Todd. Alright, just in time for the deadline. Yeah, that was pretty close, Dakla. By the way, guys, 1 minute left. Please, all of you, lock your teams, guys. I don't want you to miss the deadline. All of you, please, lock your teams. Todd says, thanks Wiz, you're welcome, Todd. Dakla says, I have enough for Hummus to Salah next week. Surely that's a no-brainer, right? Dakla, yes, that's a no-brainer for me as well. Definitely. Salah against Fulham. That's a no-brainer, bro. Let's see how Fulham play against City as well, and you have enough time to analyze that. So that's a good move in my opinion. Last minute, my friends, lock your teams. Lock your teams. Do not miss the deadline. Whew, today I never realized how quickly this hour went by, guys. Too many questions today. The deadline is over, my friends, and I hope your teams are all locked and set for the week, and I hope you all have a great week as well. And I tried to answer all your questions, guys. I know I've had so many messages on the stream. For some reason, I kept missing your messages. Suleiman says, no, forgot to change captain to KDB. Come on, Suleiman. I reminded you so many times, bro. Why did you miss changing your captain? That is crazy. Who is your captain, Suleiman? Tell us all. Tell us all. Who is your captain now? Sometimes these mistakes can get you great points. Oh, he says he's just joking. All right. Danford says, if Reece James doesn't start, I'm going to give up on FPL. Dan, come on, you are not giving up on FPL. I'm not let you gonna go anywhere. It's all good, my friend. FPL is 38 game weeks long. One bad game week doesn't matter. Just live for the good game weeks, guys. We all are going to have good game weeks. So, keep at it, guys. It's a long game. It's a marathon. It isn't a sprint. So that's the way you should take it. Lightra says you need to do 2 deadlines like last week. That was crazy, That was really crazy. Raja says, thanks, Wizard, for your advice. Good luck for this game week. Good luck to you too, my friend. I hope you have a great game week. Cruz says, no one say KDB party. I swear we saw what happened with Vardy. Guys, I never want to go to any party. It's lockdown anyway, right? My word, how stressful was it sitting through that Leicester game and watching Fuchs just give possession away again and again and again. It was so frustrating. Vardy didn't touch the ball in the first half, and I was like, why did I take a hit to bring Jamie Vardy in my team? It was crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, nobody's going to a KDB party. Let's make a new word for it. What do you say? KDB magic? Seems like a wizard word in it. KDB magic. Hope for some magic, guys. We do hope for some magic. Suleiman says, done with the FPL headache now. It's time to go and play football. That's great. That's great. I hope you have fun, enjoy your football, and take care of your health. Noel says, I made Mahrez captain. Let's hope he scores 6 goals at least. That's crazy, my friend. And that's a great differential option, and I hope he works for you. I think if he starts, he's going to score. Cruz says, at Leicester it was Fuchs. At City, we'll all be saying Jesus. Oh, I hope not. I hope KDB doesn't rely on assists. I hope he scores a goal. I hope he gets a penalty as well, so that we won't have to rely on Jesus or Sterling or anybody like that. I really hope KDB does well, to be honest with you. So my friends, I guess we come to the end of this edition of the Deadline stream, and I hope you had fun. It was a slow start in which I actually spoke to my mic for 5 minutes, and and then I realized that my voice wasn't coming, and then I had to say everything all over again. It was fun, and but it was good fun. Success is, from where do you scrap all the stats if you know any? Success, I use plenty of websites. I'm subscribed to the usual, like the Scout and the Hub and everything. I rarely use them for stats or anything because they are too much stat heavy, and I rely mostly on my eye test. I watch all the games, and that is what helps me make my decisions. But for other stats, you can go to websites like Transfermarkt, and you can go for Who Scored and SofaScore. There are lots of apps. What I'll do is, guys, I will make a video for all of you, in which I will include all the websites, all the free websites, and the free apps that I use for use for stats, use for heat maps and everything, for XGs and everything. Everything is free on those websites and apps. I will make a special video just for you so that you can make use of them and make better decisions. But if you want to listen to me, nothing is better than the eye test, guys. Do watch the games, and that is going to help you a lot. Cruz says, what time is the City game? Actually, I have no idea. Why don't I have an idea about anything? Alright, so the City game is at 8:30, so it's the second game of the day. The first game is Burnley versus Everton. Oopsie doopsie, I don't have anybody in that game. So the second game is City versus Fulham, and the third game is West Ham versus United, and then Chelsea versus Leeds. Great day ahead of us. Great football day ahead of us, guys, and it's gonna help us. Hopefully, it's gonna be good for all of us. Light Ray says price fall and rise website. Yeah. So the guys, where do we check the price rises and falls? It's a website called FPL Statistics.co.uk. So I wrote it in the chat. there you can go and you can check the price rise and falls, how many people are transferring in some player, and which player is likely to rise. So in my opinion, and this is a great website. It is not always 100% accurate, but it is based on machine learning. It can help you guys. So you do that, and I always check that website more than any other website. The one I check is live FPL for my live ranking sometimes, and FPL statistics for watching the players who rise and fall. Danford says, if we get you to 2500 subs, will you do a face reveal? Dan, I would love to do a face reveal. And the problem with doing a face reveal is that is my current day job. They don't allow me to do YouTube and live streams and stuff. So if I'm sitting here live on YouTube and my boss calls me, he's gonna know that he's not picking up my phone because he's doing a live stream on YouTube. So it's kind of a little bit problematic for me. One day, if I'm able to do FPL for a full time or maybe a longer time, then I'll do it, regardless of how many subs I have, bro. I don't care about these stats. All I care about is people coming here, a beautiful community. We can all talk about FPL, and that is the most I care about. The subs, the likes, and everything, they're gonna come one day. You just have to work hard. Success says, I am making a career switching from digital marketing to data science. Early days, hope for the days. Success, good luck to you, and lots of success to you, my friend. Aliza says, good advice given. Cheers, my friend. Cruz says, Amen Wiz. I hope one day, guys, I'm gonna be able to do FPL for more time than just part time. I won't have to worry about my boss calling me by watching me live on the if I'm using a cam, so that's the reason I don't use a cam. It's nothing to do with how I look, or I'm camera shy or anything like that. The only reason is because my day job just doesn't allow me to kind of do this full time. One day, guys, I'm gonna be working hard. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna try everything that is possible to give you the best possible FPL content. Danford says, okay. Now he understands. Pro Gamer says, you're a rock star. Thanks, my friend. Raghav says, thanks, Wiz. Tom Rooney says, how does game postponement work? Do you get the points when the game is played for that game week? That's a very interesting question, Tom. I suppose this is your first season, because this mostly happens in all the seasons. But the postponement generally happens due to the FA Cup. It doesn't happen due to COVID, right? So what happens is, if a game gets postponed from a particular game week, it gets rescheduled to another game week. And when the game happens, Aston Villa players are going to get, twice the points. Basically, both the games will be added up in the game week in which the game is rescheduled. So basically, let's assume this game is rescheduled to game week 18, right? So in game week 18, Aston Villa and Newcastle are going to play 2 games. So it is very, very desirable to keep your free hit and your wildcards for those game weeks, so that you can make a perfect team and take the advantage of the players who are playing twice in 1 week. And that is the reason I am saving my wildcard, because Manchester United and Manchester City did not have a game in the first game week, and their matches are going to be rescheduled in the coming weeks. And I'm gonna try to target, you see, Jack Grealish, Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne, all these players. Very soon they're gonna have 2 matches in 1 game week, and that is when we make the jumps, guys. That is the time we make the rank jumps. That just comes from experience. But if you have any more questions, Tom, let me know. I hope I was able to clear your doubts. Cruz says, don't forget us OGs who was here from day one. I won't forget any of you guys. You are like my family. You are like you are the visit community, right? The reason I just feel bad that I'm not able to answer all your questions. I was streaming today, and a couple of regular people like Jackson Rodriguez, he said, I've asked you questions so many times, why are you not answering? Trust me, guys, I try my best to answer your questions. What happens is sometimes I'm explaining something and I miss your questions, but I'm trying my best. Hey, what's up says, I transferred Martinez to Johnston. Did I do good? I'm not sure why did you Why didn't you go for somebody like McCarthy, my friend, or somebody like Fabianski? But Johnston is fine, right? He does get a lot of save points, and in the last game week against Sheffield, he did get 11 points. So that's all good. It's all good. Tom Rooney says, thanks. You're welcome, Tom. Success says, the Wizard Tribe OP. That's all good. Yeah, the tribe is good, the community, the family, whatever we can call it. But I remember all of you guys. I literally, sometimes after the game week is over and I'm sitting here, I watch my live stream and I read all the comments. So I just rewatch all my streams to kind of find out what I was doing right, what I was doing wrong, and how to improve my streams. So trust me, I remember all your names and I know all of you. So nothing to worry about there. Cruz says, Wiz, quick question. Vardy downgrade to who next game week? Confirmed, but go to one. Wilson, Cruz. I'm thinking about Wilson. So if I go Vardy to Wilson, I can target the Newcastle versus West Bromwich fixture. So let me show you guys, right? Let me show you. Since we are here and I have no hurry to go anywhere, since I'm not showing my face, my boss doesn't know I'm here streaming. Anyways, so let me show you guys what I'm planning for next week, and it's very tentative, so please do not consider this as fixed or anything, but here goes. So Vardy to Wilson, 3.7. Oh my god, this 0.2 or 0.3 million is just going to, anyways, so if I can't do this, then possibly if I might want to keep Vardy for one more game week, what I'm gonna do is I can bring in Jota, against Fulham. If I don't want to bring in Vardy, I'm gonna bring in maybe I'm gonna bring in Jota against Fulham. Pro Gamer says, bro, you're playing 9 players this game week because 2 player doesn't play this game week. Pro, it's fine. I've got a good bench, and I've got Bissouma, I've got Taylor, and I've got Ailing on the bench. So if they don't play, one of them can come in. With the goalkeeper not playing, I'm fine. With playing 10 players, I'm absolutely fine. Nosiri says, guess I'm late. I took out Grealish for Mahrez. Nosiri, that's a great differential, my friend, and I hope it works for you. I really do hope. Matt Henley says, West Brom Newcastle could be postponed as well, otherwise Wilson is a good option. No, West Brom versus Newcastle is not going to be postponed. From what I know, Newcastle have confirmed that fixture is going to go ahead, my friend. So I think that's all going to be fine. But if, I'm not going to make my transfer right now. I'm just telling you my plan. In case it doesn't go through, Hakim Ziyech is going to go out for somebody like Diogo Jota, and I'll have a Liverpool player against Fulham. So that's not the worst transfer. In case Vardy to Wilson and Hakim Ziyech to Salah could be done, that would have been amazing, right? So lots of options to consider, but none yet, guys. None yet. Let's not go too ahead, right? Hakim Ziyech might score 15 points, and then I might find it difficult to take him out. Suleiman says, Zuma, Chilwell, Diaz, Salah, Jota, KDB, Son, DCL, Bamford, and Che Adams. What do you think? Suleiman, that's a great team. I don't know your goalkeeper. Maybe you have Martinez, but that's a great team. Tariq says, should I get Wilson for Kane, which will then allow me to get De Bruyne instead of James Rodriguez? Tariq, I don't think you should get De Bruyne for the next week. Maybe we wait for one more week. Maybe just get Wilson for Kane and get De Bruyne against West Brom. Because next week they play against United. Now is not the time to make this kind of a transfer. Maybe. Cruz says, Wiz, what about Watkins instead of Wilson? In my opinion, I'm happy with 2 Aston Villa players, my friend. I think 3 is a bit of an overkill. Considering Watkins is so frustrating to watch and so frustrating to own as well, I'd rather go with somebody like Wilson. He is also frustrating to own, but at least he gets you points sometimes. And in my opinion, over the season, Wilson is going to outscore Watkins. Matt says, of Captain Sterling. Matt, that is a kind of a risky move, but a ballsy move as well. I hope it pays off for you, my friend. I really hope. Jonathan says, hi Wiz, I'm late due to house chores. I captained Bruno, by the way. Great choice, John. I welcome you to the live stream, my friend, and that's a great choice. Bruno Fernandes is an amazing choice this game week. Dan says Salah is a priority ahead of Salah. Yeah, that ahead of Jota, you mean, right? No, Salah is definitely a very desirable player to have, especially against smaller teams. He's a bit of a flat track bully, isn't he? I mean, he does well against big teams as well, but he's really a bit of a flat track bully against small teams. He turns into some kind of a monster, and that is the reason we all want Salah in our teams. But sometimes, just can't. Long-term implications of some transfers are more dangerous than the short-term gain. So sometimes you have to ignore, my friend. But I haven't decided anything as of yet, right? So that was just a tentative move, but I'm gonna work out something. Definitely gonna do. Dark Hugh says, "Good luck, Wiz. Good luck to you too, my friend." Jamildar says, "Why isn't the fantasy app working?" After the transfer deadline, the app crashes, or maybe it's updating for the next 30 to 40 minutes, my friend. So you're gonna have to make do with the FPL Wizard live stream. The app is not gonna work. So you're lucky I'm still here and I'm talking to you. Tarek says, "Yeah, I might remove Kane for Wilson next week and then KDB for Hummus after the week after." That seems to be the right play, my friend. I think that's the right move to make. So I think City versus United is going to be an interesting game to watch, but wouldn't want to have too many players playing in that game, because that's mostly a KG kind of a fixture. So yeah. So fellas, I hope you had fun on the stream. It was a pretty swift stream today, and Light Ray says De Bruyne to Salah captain next week if funds are difficult. I mean, I still don't have any funds, Light, and De Bruyne I want to keep for the long term. If you see De Bruyne's fixtures, just one Manchester United fixture is not putting me off De Bruyne at all. Like West Brom, Southampton, Newcastle, then even Everton, Brighton, Crystal Palace. I mean, the fixtures are amazing for De Bruyne. As long as he keeps starting, even if he doesn't return for a couple of game weeks, I am going to stick with De Bruyne no matter what happens. No matter. Shashwat says, "Nice accent, Wizard." It's actually not my accent, my friend. It's actually the way I talk in real life. I come here and I speak like that. So I'm so glad you like it. Sometimes it is a bit weird, maybe. Dan says, "May the arrows be green." Absolutely, my friend. That is a tagline that I always say for the end of my stream. Cruz says, "See you at the Gameweek Aftermath live stream, Wiz." Alrighty. So, my friends, I think we've had a long chat, and after the deadline, I think I streamed for about 20 minutes talking to you, and I'd like to continue. I'd sit here, talk to you all the time, my friends, and that's all I enjoy doing, talking about FPL, right? Along with a few other things. I've got a lot of hobbies. Don't think that I'm a no-life that only talks about FPL, by the way. Dan says, "To be honest, no offense, but compared to other Indians, it's pretty good." Yeah, I mean, the Indian accent is it's sometimes just kind of disregarded or misunderstood. We basically have a mixture of UK English and some other types of English. But for all of you who don't know about India, all our education in our schools is done in English. So from the first class or from the first grade, everything I've been studying, like science, social studies, social science, everything has been in English, guys. So most of the Indians who are educated should have a decent English. So just for anybody who's wondering. Shashwat says, "Indian accent is heavily trolled," but I know what you mean, right? But that is so exaggerated. I mean, I can do an accent like that, but it would be making a mockery. It is not our real accent. I can also talk like that, but it is not my real accent. If they say that Indian accent is like that, it is not. That is not what our accent is like, guys. Come on. They just they just make a mockery for no reason. Alawa says, "You're just awesome, man. Thanks, and I appreciate your effort." You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. Light Ray says, "What time is it where you're at?" It's around 5 p.m., my friend. It's evening. It's a very very good time for the games to start, and I'm gonna be having my tea in the evening and watching the games. It's a perfect time in India to watch EPL because the games start in the evening and they finish at night before we go to bed, so we can enjoy all the games without having to worry about the work. So yeah. Caspiano says Captain De Bruyne as well. Good luck to you, my friend. I think that's a great choice. That's a great choice. I think out of City, the safe captaincy option was Kevin De Bruyne, right? It's a fantastic option. By the way, guys, you didn't let me know. What did you think about my my Indian accent that I tried to mimic? The way they show it in the news, the way they show it in the YouTube videos, right? Hang on, let me have a drink of water, please. Cruz says, "I'm from Sri Lanka, Wiz, and we are close. Sri Lanka is a beautiful, beautiful country, my friend. I love the beaches in Sri Lanka. Maldives, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. I would love to come there anytime. I just love doing snorkeling. If you guys have heard about it, I love to snorkel, guys, and it is just the most amazing, peaceful feeling in the world, guys. If you know how to swim, and you've never done snorkeling around the coral reefs and stuff, guys, try it once in your lifetime. It is the most peaceful experience, especially when you swim on the edge and you watch the fishes and stuff. It is amazing. Oh, by the way, just to remind you, this is an FPL stream. Light says 10 p.m. in Sydney. Games are so late here. Unfortunately for the Australians and for people from New Zealand, it is a very very difficult timing for the games, my friend. But I'm so glad you're here, my friend, and I appreciate you being here too. Right? Usman says, "Why do you not have Salah or Jota?" Usman, unfortunately, I had other priorities. I had to bring in De Bruyne because I wanted to captain him, and that is the reason I don't have Salah, my friend. And next game week, hopefully, I'm gonna have one, either Salah or Jota. Krishna says, "How good bad is Fabio Silva?" To be honest with you, I think Fabio Silva is all right, but I'm not sure if he's going to start all the games. Is not going to start all the games, and that is the only concern that I have. By the way, guys, if you haven't liked the stream, please hit like, and I would really appreciate that. And I forgot to say, we have a Discord server, and it is absolutely free of cost, no strings attached. You can join it anytime you want. There's beautiful, pleasant people there talking about FPL all day long, and you can have some fun there. And I'm there as well all day chatting with a lot of people who've been on the stream here. So if you like something like Discord, please do consider joining our server. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the Twitter handle is @WizFPL. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe, all those good things. And I stream every week, once before the deadline and once after the game week is over. And if I have more time from my job, I also do make short videos for you to see. Osman says, "Why did you not take Grealish off?" The reason being because it doesn't matter, my friend. The bench player is gonna come in anyway, and I like the look of having Grealish in my team. It's for aesthetic reasons. It's not for footballing reasons. Danford says it's 2 p.m. this side. 2 p.m. That's a pretty decent time as well to watch the games. For people in Sydney, just like Light, it is too late, right? It's gonna be night by the time the better games hit. Krishna says, "Bro, can I join your league?" Yeah, you sure can join my league, my friend. Here's the league code. Let me write in the chat below. Here's the league code. Guys, by the way, 5 minutes are left until the Everton team reveal. I'm just gonna stick around and let's watch the Everton team before I go. Let's talk a little bit more about FPL. And by the time Everton teams get revealed, I'm gonna read the teams for you, and then I'm gonna head out. Usman says, "Should I get Mahrez or Salah?" Salah all day long, Usman. No question for me. If you have the money, you go for Salah, bro. He's nailed on. He's a captaincy option. For me, I would always feel, it's difficult to captain Salah for me. So, for me, always Salah over Mahrez. Cruz says, I hope you find your funds for Salah. I'm gonna find it, Cruz. Don't worry about it. Linear says, I captained Bruno this week. Linear, I think along with Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno is the standout captaincy option, and I wish you all the best, but I'm pretty sure that he's gonna do well. Bruno Fernandes, away from home, is Hulk. Usman says, yes, but Mahrez got a hat-trick last game. Usman, I know what you mean, bro, but Mahrez is a short-term option, is just not nailed on in that City team, because there's too many players that, play in the same position, and I don't think Pep trusts Mahrez for the big games. That's just my opinion. Krishna says, which club do you support, bro? I support Arsenal, Krishna. Been supporting Arsenal since 1999, and it has been a long time. It started just like any relationship, right? It started with the brilliant trophies and invincibles, and in 2005 we won the FA Cup, 2006 the Champions League final. Just like any relationship, we've had our good and bad moments, but one thing is always gonna be there: Arsenal for life. Always gonna support Arsenal. Just love the club. Usman says, who is your favorite player from Arsenal? If you mean currently, who's my favorite player, Usman? Right now, I just like Aubameyang a lot, and I think there are a lot of decent players there, but for me, Aubameyang has too much sauce. I like him a lot. If you mean all time, I really liked Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, and going back in the days, Rocky Newcastle. So many players, man. It's just been a long time supporting Arsenal. What's your current overall rank? Says Ruslan. My overall rank is around 500k, my friend, and I took a hit. Possibly it would have gone to around 600k, but I'm well inside the 1 million and looking to catch up to that 100k very soon, so that we can make a final push for the top 10k. Pakaya says, Wiz, how many UCLs have Arsenal won? I'm gonna have to look into the crystal ball to answer that question. Linear says, come on, you gooners, Arsenal is the best team. Yeah, I mean, whichever team you support is the best, guys. Come on, we all love the teams that we support, right? So for us, all the teams we support are the best. Muzammil says, I have DCL and Richarlison. That's fine, Muzammil. For this game week against Burnley, I think you can have them, but after that, I'd say you look to move one of them on, my friend. Light says, do you think Arsenal are going forwards or backwards with Arteta? Light, I think they're going forwards, definitely going forwards. From the Unai Emery era, I think they're going forwards. The problem is Arteta has, he doesn't have the players he wants. He lacks creativity in the middle. Arsenal don't want to play Ozil for some reason, and they haven't told us fans why Ozil is not playing, but we need a number 10, and hopefully in January we are going to sign either Szoboszlai from Salzburg, or we are going to sign somebody like Hossein Ouar. So if we get a creative player in that middle, and with Thomas Partey and Ceballos and everybody, I think we're gonna have a decent team. It's gonna be fine. I think we overspent a little bit on Pepe, but it's cool. I think it's cool. Krishna says DCL has way more sauce than Oba. That's fine, my friend. If you think that way, that's all cool. I think DCL is good as well, but Oba is on a different level, my friend. That, again, the teams we support makes a difference. I'm not saying he's good for FPL, by the way. He's atrocious for FPL this season. Osman says, why don't you captain Fernandes, as he usually gets more points than KDB? It's because of the fixture, Osman. KDB plays against Fulham, and Bruno plays against West Ham United, who are in a good form and a better team at the moment. Caspiano says, how long have you been playing FPL? For me, it's my first time playing FPL. It's a very interesting question, by the way, guys. I've never told you this, right? So my relationship with FPL has been kind of on and off. I started playing first time in around 2008-9. I played for a couple of seasons, and I did pretty well in my first season. I think I was like top 20k or something, and then I stopped playing it because at that time there was no prizes or nothing associated with it, and there was not so much data and stuff. So I just stopped playing it for a bit, and then I started playing it again. So if you talk about playing regularly and seriously, when I started this YouTube channel 3 years back, right, I started the Football Wizards. It was a different channel, so that was the time when I started playing it really seriously, like not just eye tests. I go with for the stats and everything. So you can say it was 18-19 season that I really started playing it seriously. But I've been in a relationship with FPL for a very long time. So yeah. Cruz says 2 minutes for the lineups. Pogba even has more sauce than Oba. I think Pogba is great as well. Yeah, I agree with you. No issues there with Pogba. By the way, guys, I think lineups are out and I can read the lineups and then we can end the stream. So who's starting? No, lineups are not out yet. Gonna be soon, I guess. I'll let you know. Guys. I'm not even sure why I'm streaming after the deadline has passed. I had no plan to stream, but since I had time on my hands, I thought why not kind of continue the stream. Cruz says, Wiz, how's your friend doing? The one you started the channel with? He's fine, my friend. He's fine. He's I think he's close to me in FPL rank as well. He's around 1 million mark as well. So he's very thorough about FPL and he watches all the games. Unfortunately, he just couldn't go through that channel. Otherwise, it was fun. Linear says, what's your score prediction versus Tottenham? I don't want to say we lose, but I think that Tottenham are too strong at the moment. And if Harry Kane starts, I think we lose that game 2-1. But the optimist in me says we can go there and we can draw the game. I don't think we're gonna win. Dan says Giroud scored 4 goals in one night. That's more than what Arsenal have scored in the last 3 years of UCL. You guys have a lot of memes about Arsenal. I see that. Wait and watch, guys. We're gonna be back in UCL. We're gonna be back. I can't wait to hear that music. That Europa League music is abysmal. Alava says, we'll get rid of both Richarlison and DCL for Wilson and Ings. Any thoughts, Wiz, please? I'm not even sure if Ings is gonna play come next game week, my friend. Let's wait for the news, and if Danny Ings is fit, then I think he can be a great transfer. By the way, let me have a look. Yeah, there you go. The lineups are out, guys. So Calvert-Lewin starts, James Rodriguez, Richarlison starts. Again, I don't think there's any surprises. Godfrey, Yeremina, Keane starts. I'm gonna take the lineups and I'm gonna post them in the chat for you to see. Cruz says, Wiz, if Arsenal win, what is something you'll do? Cruz, we already won the FA Cup last season, my friend, with Arteta. We did win. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Here are the lineups, guys. I posted them in the chat. So Krishna says, which United player except for Bruno would you have in Arsenal? That's a very interesting question, my friend. I'd say I'd love to have Rashford. I think we need a player like Rashford in our team. I really like the look of him. Raghav says, hi Wiz, your top 4 team pick for the season. If you mean which teams do I think are going to come top 4, I'd say City, Liverpool, Chelsea. The fourth one is going to be tough, but it's gonna be between Everton, United, Tottenham, and Arsenal. I'm tempted to say Tottenham the way they are playing. Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool, and City are the teams that are gonna come top 4 this season. Alexios says, what are your thoughts on Adams, brother? Alexios, I think Adams is a great option. Really, at 6 million, I think the only good option or the better option than Adams is Bamford at the moment. If you can put in some additional money, I say that Wilson is also equally good option to Bamford. So if you want me to rank them, I'd say number 1 Wilson and Bamford, number 2 would be Che Adams. So I'd say even Wilson would be number 1, number 2 would be Bamford, and number 3 would be Che Adams. That's how I think about that. So Everton is playing with a back 3 with 3 centre backs, and I think Iwobi at left wing back, and who's at the right wing? Delph. No, I think Delph is gonna be at left wing back, and Iwobi is gonna be at right wing back. They don't have any good wing backs at all, guys. If they're gonna have to play Iwobi and Delph there. But anyways, I think Everton should have enough to win. Just hope DCL doesn't punish me. Hope to God he doesn't punish me for selling him. I've had him since game week 1, guys. So yeah. Alright, guys. I think it's time to put an end to the stream now, and I've been streaming for over, I think, how long? I've been 1.5 hours, maybe a little bit more, but I had lots of fun talking to you guys, and you know, hopefully we're gonna do some more streams, and after the game week is over, guys, do come join me for the FPL aftermath. We're gonna talk about the game week. I'm gonna give you a brief summary of my eye test, and then I'm gonna answer your questions as well. So I hope you enjoyed the stream, guys, and you know, may you have a great game week. I'm gonna take your leave now. I wish you all good luck for the season, for the game week. I hope you stay safe, guys, and take care of yourselves. May the arrows be green. Before you leave, I have a beautiful song for you. So enjoy, and I will see you soon with another stream. Take care. Good luck. Bye bye.
Depo on the beat.